Happy Monday, everybody. We're back here with another episode of the Underground Knee MMA show, brought to you by the man himself, DJ Key Kuha, your host. What up, everybody? Shout out to the opening track. I shouldn't say I've been like a fan, because I'm not. I haven't been, but I just got a real Black Veil Brides mood yesterday. Listened to a couple songs. The song's called "In the End" by Black Veil Brides. Certified heat, man. Shout out to my boy Andy Biersack. Sorry about that. Unprofessional. Had to get my Pure Leaf. Shout out to my boy Andy Biersack. Dude's got a sick voice. Anyway, hope everybody's doing great on this Monday. I love bringing up, saying Happy Monday or whatever and all that stuff, because it makes me feel like Brendan Schaub, because he always does his Monday mornings. Shout out to B Schaub, my king, best podcaster out there, my hero, the reason I do this stuff. It's actually a terrible day outside. It's pretty disgusting. It's raining. It's everything. I think it snowed a little bit. It's raining. It's freezing. The wind's going nuts. Like me just walking in the Buscemi's. Shout out to Buscemi's. It was a travesty, man. I just wanted to get some Pure Leaf tea and lemonade and pizza roll from Buscemi's, and it ended with me literally getting destroyed by the wind and the rain. That's one thing that I cannot stand about living here. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Michigan. Is just the idea of cold weather and harsh weather, because I don't like it. I find it, what's the word? Terrible, I guess. I don't know. That's the only word I can think of. But yeah. But if you've never been to Michigan, or if you've never, or like if you're listening to this from like Hawaii or something, just whatever, man. Because like, if you live in a tropical place, man, and you've never lived out here in the north, like, you guys don't know struggle, man. We go through a daily struggle half the year. Like, it was 37 in my car. Like, it's only getting worse from there. Like, pretty soon, if it's 37, I'm going to think it's nice, and I'm going to be wearing shorts outside. That's how we roll up here. If you're from the South, man, y'all got it good, and you guys just don't know it, so don't take it for granted. Hope everybody had a great weekend, a great Thanksgiving with their families, or if they didn't, if they didn't contribute, or not contribute, what's the word? If they didn't collaborate with their families due to coronavirus speculations, then I hope you had a good Thanksgiving by yourself. Just want to give a couple shout-outs here. I'm thankful for this podcast, the boys, my family, and that's about it. Podcast, boys, and family. It's all you need in this life. Underground Force taking off. For those of you who don't know, we did some rebranding for the podcast, for the YouTube channel. One thing that I posted this on my Instagram. Excuse me. Jeez, I've been burping a lot. It's a problem. But there's one thing that back in March when I started this show, I always would look back and wish to myself that I didn't put Tug 4 Comedy. I wish I didn't put that word comedy in there, and I wish I didn't try and brand the company name, the channel name, as Tug 4. The channel is the Underground 4. and so one thing I wanted to do with that is I wanted to take that and make it more professional, so then that way, at least me personally, if I see a channel, a podcast that's Tug 4 Comedy, I don't know why, but just the word comedy gives off really odd vibes. Like, my boy Theo Von, he's a comedian. His podcast is This Past Weekend. There's no comedy in there. Like, it's funny, don't get me wrong. Theo Von's hilarious. Sometimes I think I'm a comedian in this show, and I'm hilarious. And who else? Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, Two Bears, One Cave. There's no comedy there. They just do it. They don't, they're so funny, they don't need to. And so at that point, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm funny. I don't need to tell people I'm funny. I don't need to make it known that this is a comedy channel, because to me, this is more than comedy. This is about, life. It's about mixed martial arts, man. It's just sick having this channel, being to talk to y'all all the time. And another thing that we did, which was a very, very hard decision, is we revamped the logo. If you head to my Instagram, it's actually new now. My Instagram's new. I gotta make sure I say it. The Underground 4. That is the Instagram name. Instead of Tug 4 Comedy, the new Instagram name and the new Twitter name is the Underground 4. Or if you're a delinquent, the Underground F4. We at the Underground 4 just decided that, it's time to do this more professionally, have more of a name to ourselves, and, have a more professional name, a more way that we can name ourselves and be proud of it. I mean, I've always been proud of it. It's just I feel like now I can be more proud of it in a professional manner. The word comedy always just ate me away. Another thing is we got a new logo. It's basically the same logo, just more of a modern look. Still the same eagle. I had to keep a bird for reasons unknown. We all know or a couple of us know the reasons. But we had to keep the bird just because I wanted to, have some sort of idea for the channel that people can always say. Like, I wanted to just make our logo just the Underground 4 with King Kuha and just two dudes boxing. But I sent that to some people, and they said, hey, man, like, yeah, that's cool, but your channel is more than just that. And I was like, you know what, you're right. So from that, I decided, you know what, let's look for some bird logos. And I found one that looked exactly like mine, just more of a modern, cooler look. And that's what we went with. So if you want to see the new logos, I say new logos because the Underground Knee MMA show, which y'all are listening to right now, also got their first logo. It's the same concept of our new regular logo. It's got two boxers, and it says the Underground Knee show, or the Underground Knee MMA show, with your host, Kige Kuha. That's what's good. That's what's good in the Underground 4 world. I mean, just went back to the pizzeria. Shout out to Jets Pizza, 17 in Garfield. Best pizza in the world. Best people in the world. Doesn't get much better than those people. So yeah, hopefully I can love those people. Great time. I'm gonna be there a lot. Podcasts are gonna have to. If you guys want to come on the show, I am free every day before 4. Let's get this going. I gotta start getting up early anyway. So doing podcasts at say noon or something gives me a reason to wake up early. So we gotta do it. Hopefully, I don't know who's gonna be a guest this week. I'm working on something really fun that I hope I can get done. It's an episode that'll be fun. I'm not sharing no secrets, no Underground 4 secrets, man. I know that was one of my original rules, but who cares? This is business, man. It's strictly business. Shout out to Conor McGregor. Speaking of Conor McGregor fights in the UFC, and he's a combat athlete. There was combat sports this weekend. There was a UFC card on this weekend. Let's talk about it. I'm getting a phone call. Hang on. That's my father. He's getting declined. Sorry about that. Really unprofessional. My apologies. Anyway, we had some fights this weekend. The most known one, no, I'm just going to get this out of the way. I'm just going to get it out of the way before I got to talk about it for a long time. The most known fight of the weekend was sadly Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. Did not watch that. I did not want to give them the sanctity of knowing that my eye was on that fight. It's disrespectful to the sport. The fact that these people are drawing people in and these people are getting paid. These two got paid for that probably. I mean, I don't know any true numbers, but they probably got paid for this, man. And the fact that there's UFC fighters out there working their entire life to make it to the UFC, and as soon as they make it, they're like, yep, I've made it. 12K contract. Boom. Is that really the message the UFC is trying to send? That hey, all you gotta do is just be a YouTuber, be an idiot, be somebody who, has a huge following of middle schoolers and high schoolers, and this is what you'll do? No. That's not what you want to do. It was one thing about that card, about the Tyson card, that really bothered me was the fact of just how fake it was. Boxing's a dying sport, man. We all know this. I watched a couple rounds. I couldn't. It was so bad. But I watched a couple rounds of the Tyson fight, and the fact that it's a draw should just show how bad boxing is. The fact that, in the UFC, there's probably a draw, every 3 cards maybe? They don't happen much. It's because the UFC wants the best fighters fighting. UFC wants the best fighters fighting. I know this was an exhibition or whatever you call it, but boxing doesn't want the best fighters fighting. Boxing wants you to fight the same person over and over again because the promoters want money. It's garbage, man. Because even though Mike Tyson won that fight, like, I mean, come on. Like, I mean, I watched like about half of it. I saw the stats. No way you can give that a draw. No way. I saw one judge just kept giving everybody 10-10s. I'm like, what is this guy doing, dude? What are you doing, bro? It was truly a shame to see something like that. And both the aspect of two old men who, you know, both have probably some problems. They've been getting hit in the head since they were 10 years old. They're 50 years old. I know Mike Tyson's got some problems, you know, I'm not exactly sure, but the dude's basically just a celebrity now. And like, I feel like that's all, like, I feel like him and Roy Jones Jr. doing this, I feel like they just turned away from boxers and became celebrities right there. And that for me is something that really bothers me, just because I've always commended Mike Tyson. I think he's one of the crazy, I'm 18 years old. I was born in 2002. I didn't see Mike Tyson fight in his prime. I didn't see him fight. You know, I didn't see him become the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. You know, I didn't see him with all his insane knockouts, his insane fights. But you know, Mike Tyson's one of those people. He's like Muhammad Ali. He's like who else? He's like Michael Jackson. You know, Prince. He's just one of those people who, you know, it doesn't matter when you're born, and the people who you saw when you were growing up, but you can always feel their legacy and feel how important they were. And I feel like at this point he kind of gave in the pressure. Was like, yep, let's do it. The fact that fight's a draw is 100% truth. That boxing's rigged. Boxing does not care about the fighters. In boxing, nobody cares about the people laying on the line. The only thing people care about is the promoters and the money going in their pockets. Mike Tyson made, what, 10 grand from that? I guarantee whoever set this fight up, the promoters, they're loaded, man. Thank God. That's probably why, like, sure, it was an exhibition. They probably didn't want this fight to be betted on. Like, this fight, I saw on Twitter, I believe, that this fight was not available to bet on. And I believe, like, in my own ways, like, sure, it was an exhibition. I feel like they wanted to be an exhibition because they didn't want Vegas to lose out on a ton of money. Because because I think when it's a fight like this, who's calling me? Jeez, sorry, it was full send. Because I don't even know how to put this, man. It's disrespectful, man. Disrespectful. I don't even know how to put it. Let's just move on. It's just making me mad. Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. Had a couple people tell me that that's a phenomenal knockout. I'm like, dude, like, yeah, it's a cool knockout. Like, watch a UFC card. Like, geez. Seriously? A lot of people came up to me and said that. They said, like, you know, hey, did you see that Nate Robinson, Jake Paul fight? I'm like, no. I mean, I saw the end. I mean, who hasn't seen the end? Went viral. And that's another thing that bothers me. I feel like that went more viral than my boy Joaquin Buckley's spinning back kick knockout. No look, dude. Clean. Like, if we're thinking about it, the fact that Jake Paul just did that is probably way more, and I guarantee a lot of people are going to be like, yep. And the fact that people think he should fight Conor McGregor or Dylan Dennis makes me so mad I can't even fathom it and put it into words. Every time I see something about it, I saw a tweet. Sure, they had to have been kidding, but it just bothered me that, like, a dude thought this in his head and thought enough to tweet it. He said that Jake Paul's knockout of Nate Robinson in the second round was more impressive than Conor McGregor's 13-second knockout against Jose Aldo. Now, with how can I put it? A statement like that, you have to be kidding. There's no way you're serious. And if you are, please get some help. Nate Robinson has never been in a fight in his life. I mean, maybe he's been in a couple. He's never been in a true boxing match in his life. Been training for this for what, 3 months? 3 months? He's an NBA player. And you think that that's more commendable, having a YouTube dude who, I mean, sure, I mean, I don't know much about him. I don't like the guy. But I have heard that that in his spare time he does like to box. So at least he's doing something. At least he's doing something. The fact that somebody thought that knockout was more spectacular and more impressive than Conor McGregor ending a 13-year reign of dominance, or not 13, 10-second year reign of dominance from Jose Aldo with one punch just shows how good Conor McGregor is, and it just shows what happens when you can get in a fighter's head. Conor McGregor is the king of getting in fighters' heads, and I think he's going to capture the belt again in 2021. So with that, let's switch over to the UFC training because I like that a lot more, and it makes me a lot less mad. The only thing about this weekend that did make me mad was the fact that Curtis Blaydes had to pull out of his fight with Derek Lewis. I mean, was I looking forward to the fight? No, I mean, we all knew it was going to happen. Curtis Blaydes is going to take him down in the first 30 seconds, ride him out for 4.5, and just repeat that till Derek Lewis got tired and probably got submitted. I'd say third round, that's probably what's going to happen if that fight still happens, which I believe they're trying to push it to December or January. That's probably what's going to happen. It's probably going to, I mean, let's be honest. I love Curtis Blaydes. I love Derek Lewis. Curtis Blaydes is going to take him down and just wrestle him. So whenever that fight happens, you've got my prediction. But lucky for us, there was a decent fight as the co-main event that we got pushed up to 5 rounds. Shout out to Devin Clark and Anthony Smith for agreeing on making that fight 5 rounds. But really, in all honesty, this was one of the lesser cards I've seen. Dude, my Mac has not been working lately, and like it just shows up as blank numbers, and I just gotta guess. It's very, very frustrating. Apple, fix this. Jeez. I might have just connected to my Wi-Fi. I can't tell because I can't tell what one I'm joining. FIO, Apple. FIO. Yep, didn't connect. Like, it's so annoying. Yep, just turn my Wi-Fi off. Yep, that's not mine. That's not mine. It's just a tale of me trying to get onto my internet. No, that's not mine. Oh my goodness. Like, this company literally makes so much money and they can't like show me what I'm clicking. I just gotta guess. Are you serious, Apple? Oh, wait, I just got it. Nope. Whoever the Thiels are, I'm sorry for trying to join your internet. Just turn my Wi-Fi off. Oh, my goodness. I guess we don't have a laptop for the day, boys. Like, what is this? What? Oh my goodness, dude. Come on. Okay, well, we're using the phone today, boys. Using the phone. Apple, you guys are terrible. Never using a product of yours again. Apple sucks. Don't buy a Mac. Macs suck. HP, it's where it's at. Chromebooks for the win. Anyway, so as I was saying before I was brutally interrupted, the card this week was very, very subpar. And I mean that in both terms of fun fights, big names. There was a couple ones that were solid. Jonathan Pierce versus Akai Kamaka. That was a good fight. I didn't expect to enjoy this fight, but Norma Dumont versus Ashley Evans Smith was actually a very, very good fight. It wasn't competitive at all, but the fact that Ashley Evans Smith didn't really go down, I think she might have got knocked down maybe once, but the fact that she didn't go down in full once is pretty impressive. She was getting pieced up. Norma Dumont looked really good. I was excited to see Ashley Evans Smith back for the first time in almost 2 years. But she went out there, and it did look like she had some problems heading into the camp, but she's already been off for too long. She didn't want to have to pull out, and I think that might be what happened. She looked really hesitant. She wasn't she was a was it 2 or 4 time NAIA a wrestling champ, and she didn't even go for one takedown, and she got taken down a couple times instead. Something had to have been bothering her, man. Didn't look right. A Bill Aljo over Spike Carlisle. I knew this fight was going to decision. I don't like Spike Carlisle. Jeez, that's a tongue twister. Spike Carlisle. I don't think the dude's good. He's not anything special. He's a fun fighter. We have a ton of fun fighters. But, he's 1-2 in the UFC now. Bill Aljo actually looks really good. That dude's a beast. I'm big on that guy. I think that guy can be a top 15 dude. He had, a fight of the night, $50K bonus with a Ricardo Lamas on 2 weeks' notice. That's pretty impressive in itself, man. To go a full 15 minutes with Ricardo Lamas on 2 weeks' notice, making your UFC debut. That was his first UFC win. He probably would have got another. He'd probably be 2-0 if he didn't have a tough fight with Ricardo Lamas to start his career. Things happen, man. One fight that really bothered me was didn't bother me, but was Parker Porter beating Josh Parisian. Those of you who don't know, I'm from Michigan. Josh Parisian's from Michigan. I've been big on the guy since I saw him in the Ultimate Fighter. I think it was 28. And the dude's, he's always seemed really top dude to me. He looked good in the Ultimate Fighter. Went on Dana White's Contender Series. Got a spinning back fist knockout. Didn't give him a contract, which, come on, Dana. Spinning back fist knockout? Give the man a contract. He's trying, jeez. And then he has to go back on DWCS. Gets another, stoppage win again. And at that point, he's like, all right, okay, I'll give this guy a shot. And Josh Parisian was a big favorite in this fight, I remember seeing. And the fact that he lost, it's tough. This was a fight I thought he was going to win. Parker Porter's, 10-6 professionally. Dude ain't that good, but yeah, I'm surprised this fight went the distance, man. They looked gassed at the end of one. How this fight went 15 minutes and neither of them passed out. Impressive to me. I remember Parker Porter had a submission on the ground. I'm like, all right, dude, if this is just mildly tight, he's tapping. He already can't breathe, and he's getting his neck choked. He already can't breathe. Psh, easy work, but he didn't go down. Miguel Baeza versus Takashi Sato. Didn't watch much of this fight. Wasn't really paying attention. I was going for Sato. I like that guy. Whatever. And then Anthony Smith beat Devin Clark. This is a fight that Anthony Smith, for the love of God, this guy needed it. I think this dude needed a win, or I think this was the fight against an unranked Devin Clark, where if he lost this fight, he just needs to stop. This is his 50th professional fight. He's 34-16 now. 50th professional fight. I personally love Anthony Smith behind the desk on all the UFC post-fight shows. And I think that he's got a career as an analyst. So if he would have lost this fight at that point, I'd been like, call it, man. But, he beat Devin Clark. He's still ranked 6. Devin Clark was unranked, so it's going to be tough to move him anywhere. Maybe he could stay at 6. But there's a lot of fun fights for him next. Who called him out that I was a real fan of somebody who called him out. If I had my computer, I would be able to switch it over real quick, and we'd be looking at it right now. But Apple sucks. Buy a Chromebook. Shout to HP. It says even who makes Chromebooks. Is it Google? I don't know. I don't know anything about computers. Who uses computers anymore? Losers. Let's see. Light heavyweight. Somebody called him out, and I was like, that's a good fight. I want to see that, actually. Oh, it was Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute. Run that fight, Dana White. Make that happen. That's a good fight right there. I'm high on Jimmy Crute, man. That dude's going to be a champ one day. With this light heavyweight division, that dude's going to run through it, man. With this light heavyweight division, that's not being towered over by John Jones anymore. Jimmy Crute is the next big thing. 12-1. If he can get a fight with Anthony Smith, That's a main event. Make that a fight night main event in February, man. I want to see that fight. That's a good fight, man. And then at that point, if Smith beats him, he derails the top under 25 dude in the UFC. At that point, man, he's right back up there in the top 5, top 4, top 3. If Crew can beat him, man, he cements himself beating a vet who's right there too. And dude, that's just it's just like all the signs of great fight and great matchmaking. Sean Shelby, let's do it, man. Mick Maynard, do it. Dana White, sign the contract. Dana, gosh. But yeah, it's really disappointing that we weren't able to see Curtis Blades and Derek Lewis fight. They're two people who I love watching both of them fight. I know a lot of people think Curtis Blades is boring. I personally love the dude. I met him in Texas. Only fighter I've ever met who's taller than me. Only fighter I've ever met who's taller than me. And he's also the only fighter I've met who has about 120 pounds on me. So, in that case, it's okay. But anyway, looking forward to next week. Next week's card took a little hit, but shout out to UFC for making stuff happen, saving this fight. We got Jack Hermanson going up against Marvin Vettori. It was supposed to be Jack Hermanson, Darren Till, which, oh my gosh, like that was bound for failure. That's so good. It's such a good fight. It was bound for failure. And then we got Kevin Holland to step in against Jack Hermanson, which I'm big on Kevin Holland. I wanted to see that dude fight bad. I think that dude, if that dude would have went 5-0 and ended his year beating what, number 4, I think? Number 4, number 5, something like that. If I had my computer, I could pull up the UFC rankings. But guess what? Apple sucks. I don't. Jeez, sorry about that. But no. But now that Vettori's stepping in against Hermanson, this is a completely new fight. Because, you have Jack Hermanson who is training. No, I know Jack Hermanson. He's solid on the feet. Specialist on the ground. He submitted Kelvin Gastelum in what, in a minute and a half or something like that? Insane. I was like, I don't even know who Hermanson is. Kelvin Gastelum's going to piece him up. Nope. Jack Hermanson is good on the ground. And now he's got Vettori who's good on the ground. And Vettori was training for Jacare Souza, who is known for being a submission specialist on the ground. Marvin Vettori's probably going to be really good on the ground. And he hits hard, man. I think Vettori shocks the world and wins this fight. I don't think that's a good matchup for Hermanson. And even I'm gonna feel really bad for Hermanson if he loses, because he had Darren Till, which is a phenomenal fight for Hermanson. That's a stylistic nightmare for Darren Till. But instead now he's got a dude who matches his style, might be a little bit better in his style than Marvin Vettori. He's the Italian stallion, man. That dude's isn't he what, like, first Italian fighter in the UFC or something like that? That dude's gonna be a beast. Co-main event, we got OSP versus my Grand Rapids native, Jamahal Hill. I think Hill's gonna win that fight. OSP has not looked good lately, especially in that move, that heavyweight that he made. That was tough to see. I did, yeah, not a fan of that. Don't ever do that again. It still says Marab's on this card. Against opponent TBA. It was supposed to be Cody Stamen. Cody got COVID, and then after that, I think it was Raoni Barcelos, who's coming off a fight a little less than a month ago. Dude looked good, but the Nevada State Athletic Commission said that he wasn't high enough ranked for something like that, which is complete garbage. You let Ali Acuna step into the cage with Khabib. You let Mike Tyson at 54 years old, step into the cage against Roy Jones Jr. You can let Raoni Barcelos fight Merab Walashili, man. Jeez. FIO, figure it out. California State Athletic Commission, you guys are just horrible people. And Nevada, you guys are just weird. FIO, figure it out, man. Montana De La Rosa, remember her from The Ultimate Fighter. Josh Allen, Roman Dolitsky. Ooh, Nate Landwehr, I like that guy. Against Mausar Evlov. Dude's 13-0. Dude's probably good. John Volante's on this card? John Volante's on this card. He's headlining the prelims. It's tough for him. Tough road he went down. Lost a lot of fights. Jeez. Who else? Oh, and Jordan Leavitt from Dana White's Contender Series. Dude's good. Justin James. And then there we go. There's the fight of the night. Justin James, Gabriel Benitez. Shout out to Justin James, Michigan made. Shout out to Vaughn Petty. I love you, buddy. Justin James, for those of you who don't know, was warmed up for one of his WXC title fights by the one, the only, Vaughn Petty. And Vaughn, if you guys don't know Vaughn's my best friend. Vaughn's my best friend. And no, this was always it's one of Vaughn's favorite things he's ever done. And he's met Justin a couple times. He did an MMA clinic with him. Those two are tight, man. So every time James fights, it always feels close to my heart, because anything close to Vaughn is close to me. And so I'm always cheering for him. Shout out to Justin. Let's get it done, baby. And he went to Olivet. Who goes to Olivet College? Justin James goes to Olivet College. Shout out to you, Justin James, and Darren Kirkshank. And then starting the card, we got Jose Quinones. He's good against Louis Smolka. He's good. That's a good fight to start the card. Good fight to start the card. Solid card. Lot better than last week's, but still not very good. Then after that, we got Moreno versus Figgy's back. Let's go. They just released the main card for this. If I can find it. Was that me? Oh no, that was weird. Just released the main card for this. We got Gavin Tucker versus Billy Corntilio. It's a good fight. Chase Hooper's on this card. Carl Roberson's on this card. Omari Akhmedov's on this card. Mackenzie Dern, Angela Hill, Tisha Torres, Kevin Holland. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Kevin Holland's fighting Souza now. They just switched opponents. Big fan of that fight. I think Souza's gonna get it though. That's a nightmare for Holland, man. A nightmare. A nightmare. The only thing that's good for Holland is he's been training for a he's been training for a grappler, so he might be able to get something going. But still, that's a bad fight for him, man. I think Souza wins that. Then we got Charles Oliveira, Tony Ferguson on on the December 12th card. Do I even have to say anything? That's a fight and a half right there. I've got Charles Oliveira by a decision. I just think that he's going to start out faster and have more of a point to prove. Everybody doubts him. No, nobody's really doubted Tony Ferguson. I think that Tony Ferguson's actions and him trying to be, don't get me wrong. Tony Ferguson is one of the coolest dudes in the division. He's one of the coolest dudes in the company, actually. But the fact that he tried to cut weight, that he made weight just to prove a point, that was stupid, and it cost him everything, man. Him doing that, in my opinion, cost him everything. He lost to Justin at that point. He lost the fight with Khabib, and now Khabib's gone. That fight was booked 6 times? Fight that everybody wants to see, and it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. I don't know. It's unfortunate, but hey, things happen. Sorry for yawning so much. I'm exhausted. It's like noon. This is the earliest I've woken up in a minute. So give me a break. But yeah, besides that, there's a lot. If I had my computer, I'd be able to pull up a lot more stuff. But this sucks. But yeah, it was a decent. It was a rough week for combat sports. This is definitely one of the lesser talked about fight cards that I've seen. But I guarantee you, when I listen to BTB with B Shab tonight, it's just gonna be about Tyson and Jones. Gonna be tough, man. Hope you guys liked this episode. If you guys didn't, who cares? Don't listen to me like you really care less. But that's all I got for today, man. Everybody stay safe. Don't be fools. Look out for a vlog potentially happening this week. Maybe not. And as well, look out for getting somebody on the podcast this week. That's about all. Yeah. Sick. I hate when my security cameras go off and nobody's there. Scares me. Especially when I'm in the basement. I don't think anybody's there. If I die, it was an accident. Okay, bye.